Hello, how are you doing? If today's your birthday, happy birthday. Let's get into this and let's do some makeup. I am going to do a full face of, I guess you'd call it glam. I'm doing a little photo shoot today because I'm celebrating 90K on my live streaming channel and I want to do something fun. Now, before anybody says anything, I don't do my makeup that regularly just because I work out regularly and I know some people that work out regularly. Got it, regularly. Oh, it sounds so weird. Like, you know, when you say a word so many times, it just starts to sound weird. Am I even saying it right anymore? I refilmed this little intro a couple of times. But I know some people that work out a lot also do their makeup a lot, but I just wasn't one of those girls because I was struggling a lot with my skin. But I'm starting to do some makeup again because I found a new skincare brand that has kind of given me the confidence to kind of play around with my skin more. So this is not going to be like a professional video. This is just what I'm doing based on how I did my makeup back in high school. But I'm going to try my best and we're going to get some good photos. So let's get into this. I am using 3 different palettes. I'm not sure if I'll actually use all 3, but I just took these out. This is the Call Me palette by Spoiled Cosmetics. This one's super cute. I have the Beach House, and then I have the Earth Elements palette. So I just have these 3 out to help as some inspiration. I have not planned this look, but I really like these. I feel like this has a lot of like natural tones. I'm definitely going for a more natural look just because I don't wear makeup that often. And in these photos, I still want to look like me. And I feel like doing like a really bold look wouldn't really suit me and who I am. They are fun to do sometimes, but you know, since we're celebrating like our community and our channel, I just want to like feel like me and look like me. So I kind of picked these out because they have a lot more like neutral tones and then like a few fun colors. Like maybe we could just do like a little pop of something. And then this one too, I feel like is very natural. I mean, obviously there's a lot of fun sides, but it has this like nice little clump here. That's very natural. So we'll see what we end up using, but let's get started on the base. So you might be wondering, Katie, what is this like trash bag type thing? My old makeup bag was made out of this like leather material and it literally started to fall apart. So temporarily, my makeup is in this little container that keeps popping open and loose in this bag. I really need to start looking up better makeup things, but you know what? I don't do my makeup that often. You guys know that. So it's like hard for me to like invest in a good one because I'm like, when do I ever really use the makeup? But it would be kind of nice to kind of like figure out a better way to store it. But right now, like this is my every like go-to makeup. Like if I'm gonna do my makeup, everything I need is in here. And then I have Tupperware in my linen closet for like the other stuff that I don't use that often, but either was like gifted to me or I got, or maybe I was inspired by a TikTok video and I just never used it again. So this is the best situation at the moment. But I'm gonna go in with a primer. I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Tone Adjuster Face Primer. So a little bit of background for me with makeup is I used to do my makeup every single day. And I was definitely like one of those people that would not leave the house without makeup. And I literally wore it every single day. And I loved makeup. It was just a way to express myself. I feel like I'm a more creative person. I love being creative. And with makeup, I could be creative. Although most days I was just doing like a normal natural look. But you know, some days I would like do a little crazy eyeliner, crazy pop of color. But I loved wearing makeup. And then kind of like at the end of high school, I started to get really into fitness. And then in college, I got really into fitness. And makeup's expensive, you guys know that. So I was like, there's no point of me wearing makeup just to wash it off like after like a couple of hours to then work out. And then also like when I was in college, I literally like, I didn't know anybody. So I was like, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm just going to college for that one class And then I would then go work out and then, you know, to finish up and do my other classes of the day. So there was no like a point to me to like do makeup. It just felt like a waste of money, kind of. But I was also starting to really struggle with my acne. I don't know if this had like any sort of like overlap, but the second I started working out a lot, I also started to get really bad acne. And I went to like an esthetician, I went to a dermatologist and tried a bunch of different things. And that was another reason why I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do any makeup anymore, you know, because I don't want to like make my skin worse. And we tried doing a bunch of different things. Like the dermatologist had me cut out different foods, different products, different shampoos, because shampoo, you know, when you rinse it off, it's touching your face, so it can do things to your face. But I tried a bunch of different things and nothing worked. I even tried, you know, the only like real new things in my life were trying out like different protein powders, like whey protein powder, iso whey protein blends, doing pre-workout. I even tried to cut that out and then just do my workout and stuff, and my skin didn't get fixed. So I don't think it had anything to do with me working out, but it is weird how the second I started to get really into fitness, it kind of aligned with my skin getting worse and worse. And I scar really easily. Like on camera, some people think this is like bad acne, but this is just little scars. And it is so much better than how it used to be. My acne scars look so good for what they are, because I used to have really deep pitting in my skin, and they used to be a really dark purple for a couple of years. And then I started a new skincare line and it actually got rid of the pitting, but that was like years after the dermatologist. Nothing that the dermatologist or the esthetician recommended really worked. Like it would work for maybe like a week or two and then my skin would like retaliate. That's what it felt like. But none of that worked. And then eventually I just stopped going to the esthetician and the dermatologist. And one thing the dermatologist told me was that I could just have genetic acne. Like there's nothing that I could do to fix my acne. It's just like, it is what it is. And my dad was also going to the same dermatologist too. He just did like yearly checkups for, you know, make sure he didn't have skin cancer. And, you know, so she knew my dad, and my dad had really bad acne the same time as me. So she's like, yeah, it could just be genetic acne and there's really nothing you can do except, you know, you could try different skincare to kind of like stop the acne before it reaches the surface. That way you're not scarring, and then try to find something that would be good for scars. And I tried a bunch of different things they recommended, like Curology, Epiduo, different topical like steroid treatments. I tried getting like extractions every like 2 weeks and doing like different facial things, and nothing helped. My skin was very unhappy. And then I just stopped because that was a lot of money and it felt like a big waste, and my skin just kept getting worse and worse. And then I did find something that actually worked, and it was able to heal like those years of damage. Like I literally had like little craters in my skin, and the product got rid of it, and it started to bring back my confidence. And I used it for like a whole year and I loved it. I could never use the whole line though, because my skin is very sensitive. That was another big issue when I was working with the dermatologist and the dermatologist and the esthetician, is everything they recommended was very harsh treatment. And I think my skin just needed and really wanted something gentle. And the brand I found, it's Herbal Face Food, and that ended up really helping my skin, but I could never use the whole line for the same reason. Like it is plant-based, and it is more gentle than some of the chemicals that was recommended to me by the esthetician and dermatologist, but it was still pretty strong. So I couldn't use the cure with the serums, with the moisturizer, with the the soap bar that you're supposed to clean your face with. I couldn't use everything at once for that same reason. My skin would just get really dry, really red. Like you could just see it was irritated, but it completely got rid of my acne and it was fixing my craters. Like literally, like my skin went to all one level, which was so cool. And then my acne scars lightened up a lot. So after about a year, it kind of gave me the confidence to start to try new things. By the way, look at this foundation. I just did one half of my face. Isn't that crazy? It literally just makes my skin look good. But this shows you, like, once I cover up the acne scars, like, my skin does look good. I only have this piece of acne and this piece of acne. The rest is just acne scars. Which that's the sad part, because a lot of my stuff is online, and in camera I feel like the acne scars kind of just look like acne. So people are always like, wow, Katie, your skin's so bad, why are you promoting skincare? But I'm like, no, literally, I don't have any acne. What do you mean my skin's bad? But I mean, I do now. I literally have this little bit and this little bit, but I used to get really bad, painful cystic acne, like, and they were big too. Like my chin would look double the size, and then especially on my cheeks. And before anybody says, Katie, you have hormonal acne, it wasn't for any hormonal reason. But I know, like, hormonal acne normally shows up on the chin and cheeks, but unless my estheticians and dermatologists and my doctor and my lady doctor are all very wrong, I don't have any sort of hormonal issues. And it had nothing to do with diet. It's just genetic acne. That's what they all basically said. But I'm getting off topic. After a year of trying herbal face food, I then was introduced to a new brand. It was called, well, the brand is called the Olive Tree People. And then they have different brands under them. So it's kind of like when you shop at Target, you know, Target has different brands. But the difference is all of these brands are made by Olive Tree People. And they have Olivita skincare. And Olivita skincare, it has the same principles as herbal face food, where it's all like plant-based, waterless beauty, very clean. The biggest difference though, I would say, is the price point. And then they use this olive leaf elixir in all of their skincare, which helps with, and like, it helps with inflammation, it helps with redness, and it's very gentle with your skin. So I ended up taking a month off of herbal face food, which I deliberated with for a very long time because I was so scared of getting my acne back and like feeling like I had to like restart my journey, because I scar so easily. So I'm like, I don't want to get acne because then, you know, I'll be dealing with it for like a whole year plus. But I ended up, you know, stopping it for a month to try Olivita because one of my friends recommended it. And I really was like, okay, they have a lot of the same principles, a lot of the same backing, so I might as well try it. So I ended up giving it a try, and my skin was pretty happy with it. I ended up trying two of their serums, their cleanser, and then two of their moisturizers, the eye moisturizer and then the face moisturizer. And my skin was pretty happy. The only thing my skin didn't fully love was the, it's called like Botox in a bottle. And that is something I can only use a couple of times a week. I can't use that daily because then my skin starts to get red and irritated. But after using it for that whole month, it did not cause any extra acne. Like maybe like once a month here and there, I'll get like one here and one here. That's pretty normal now. That was never my old normal. I used to have like something everywhere, all over my face at all times before finding herbal face food. So full credit to herbal face food for getting rid of my acne. But the other stuff, it did not cause any extra acne, and my skin was very happy with it. And now I'm using Olivita with the cure from herbal face food, and my skin is like, thank you, Katie. I feel like my skin is the best it's ever been. Like I feel like it's my skin back in high school, because I never had issues in high school. It was just like, you know, when I started to get into college and you know, being a young adult, that's when my skin decided to freak out. And I think I finally found like the right combination for my skin. And that is a little bit of my skin journey. I know you guys didn't ask, but at least that's my little fun thing to talk about while we do our makeup. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is the NARS concealer, and this is in shade Chantilly. One funny thing about this concealer is the person at, I can't remember if it was Ulta or Sephora, but they told me not to get it. They said it was bad. But my sister loves it, so I ended up picking it up, and I actually really like it. So I don't know if there's something, maybe it's because it's a NARS product, who knows, but that girl was like, you shouldn't get it, but I do actually like it. All right, I wetted my beauty blender. I'm just gonna buff it out. But the whole purpose of me sharing a bit of my skin journey is that's why I quit doing makeup for a while. And now I feel like I finally have a good routine that lets me play with skincare again and play with makeup again. Because, you know, back in high school, I loved doing like a sheet mask, like having a little spa night with my sisters and my mom, you know, doing a sheet mask, doing a clay mask, just playing around. And plus it's relaxing too, you know, to do that stuff. And once my skin started to go bad, I was like, I don't want to touch my skin with anything that could potentially make it bad, you know? So I was so scared because I scar so easily. And now this stuff actually gives me the confidence to play around with skincare, because I know if I start to get acne again from something, this stuff will fix it. And I know some people comment like, if you found something that works, why are you trying other things? Like, and that's something like I don't understand why people comment that on my posts, because like that's literally the whole point. I want to be able to have that freedom again, and I finally found a routine that I love that allows me to have that freedom. Like I love having a spa night and like, you know, trying like a bunch of different things. Like to me that's fun. And for the longest time I was so scared to do my makeup or to play around with face masks, try new skincare, have a spa night, go to like a spa thing with like one of my friends, because I was so insanely petrified of getting my acne, like to have my acne flare up and then to get bad acne scars. So that's why I'm playing around with new stuff. Yes, I found something that works for me and I stuck to it for a whole year. And then, you know, I added aloe vera. I've been using it for almost 2 months and my skin's insanely happy. So yes, of course I'm gonna play with new skincare and makeup and have fun, because that's what I worked for all these years, to find something that let me have fun again, you know, and have that spa night, and to let my sister put makeup on me. You guys know for a while I was like, Jess, don't do my makeup, don't touch my skin, because I was so scared, you know, like the acne is painful, and then for me it left a permanent mark, you know, and I didn't want that. And now I can finally be like, Jess, if you want to do my makeup, you can do my makeup. Like I'm not scared anymore. And I know that might be like stupid, but it's so meaningful to me because I've been fighting with my acne for like 6+ years, you know? So yes, I'm gonna try a bunch of stuff now, and I'm sure I'm still gonna get comments of like, why are you trying new things if you found something that works? Because I found something that works. So if it messes up my skin, well, I have something that will fix it. And one huge thing I have to say with aloe vera is they have this like internals line. And since taking that, my acne scars have cleared up tremendously. Like they used to be dark, deep purple, and now they're almost my normal skin color. And I can actually like cover it up with makeup now. Before it was such a dark, deep purple. Even just putting on like, you know, this, like doing one layer of this, you could fully see them through it. And now I can actually cover up, and you know I have something that is actively protecting my skin and can fix it if anything happens. I'm gonna go in with contour next. This is the Halo Glow by e.l.f. in shade Fair and Light. And I'm just gonna keep everything very up. So I feel like I definitely do have a very round face, and I also have hooded eyes. And something that always kind of like inspired me was Korean makeup. And hear me out. I do love Korean dramas. I love Korean music. I got really into it in high school, but the reason why I really like Korean makeup is because I have hooded eyes and a very round face, and I feel like a lot of the Korean makeup artists I were looking at also had very little like eyelid space and very round faces. And so I felt like Korean, like especially Korean eye looks, worked really well with my hooded eyes because I have very little like eye space, and all their stuff was about like making the eyes look bigger, and they did a lot of the stuff, you know, to like give the illusion of bigger eyelids. And I've always loved like dewy skin, glowy skin too. My sister hated it. She used to walk around like as a joke, like when I would get ready for high school, and literally take a powder puff and like go like this because she's like, you look oily. I'm like, no, I don't. I look dewy. I have dewy skin. By the way, this was way back in like 2013. So this was a long time ago. I am old. But she hated the dewy skin look, and now she's all about it. So joke's on her. But a lot of my skin, a lot of my like skin makeup prep, skincare, makeup prep, things like that, I would say is definitely more inspired by Korean makeup, just for that reason. And I also have a lot of Korean makeup. So you guys saw like the foundation I used, that is by a Korean company. And this is age 20s, and this is their glass compact. I also love Muse and Too Cool for School and all of those, because I grew up watching Korean makeup videos because I felt like it just always suited my face more and complemented it, and you know, it worked because a lot of like Western makeup, when I would wear it, it just looked very heavy on my face, and especially it was very angular, and trying to fit angular makeup on my round face, it didn't look good. It never looked right. So I always followed that. So that's one of my big tips. Like if you are starting off with makeup or new to makeup, you can't just copy the way somebody else does their makeup, because everybody's face shape is very different. You have to find what works best for your face shape. And for me, I started to do Korean makeup and I just liked the way it looked. And I didn't even realize like that was the reason why it just suited my face better until like years later. I didn't like consciously think about it, you know, but a lot of like the Western videos, like, you know, I would watch like the Vogue model videos when they did their makeup. They had very skinny, tiny, like narrow faces, very angular, and it never looked right on me. I always felt like very ugly after doing my makeup, doing it that way, until I found Korean makeup videos, started to do my makeup like them, and I felt like it just looked very cute. It looked good. And I've always loved more natural looks, and I feel like natural looks can still be very creative. I feel like that's kind of like, people are like, oh, that's so boring, clean girl makeup, natural makeup, things like that. But you still can have fun with it, and it's still creative, and you know, it just, you know, do whatever you like, you know, it doesn't have to be the trendy thing. It doesn't have to be whatever, you know, just, you know, whatever suits you and whatever you feel makes you look good, do it that way. And my sister hated it though. But I still did it. I stuck to it. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is, let me see, I'm gonna do the cream highlighter. I try to do all my creams on one step, even though this doesn't necessarily make sense because I do highlighter at the end. But since I'm gonna powder this down just a little bit, I'm gonna do my cream here. And then when I powder it afterwards, then I'll also add my cream. Then I'll add my powder highlight too. But I do all my creams in one base, powder it down, and then I'll add, like if I wanna add extra contour, extra highlighter or whatever, then I'll do the powdered version. But all my creams on one base, because then it looks kind of like cakey if I try to put powder then cream again. So after this, I'm gonna do eyebrows, and we're actually almost done. I'm doing a more natural look. I I already said that. I think I said that at the beginning. So don't expect like an insane transformation, guys. I'm just trying my best here. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Pomade in a pencil brow shaper and filler. I really need to get my brows done professionally. I'm just so incredibly scared of it because I mean, I grew up in the age of teeny tiny brows, like where people would get like little pencil line type of brows, and I'm so scared because I do love my fluffy brows, but I know they need to be shaped and they could be better. And I've just been doing them for years and I've neglected them also. I haven't really trimmed them or shaped them in a while. I just kind of use the little like shaver to kind of get like the obvious things, but I just kind of let my brows do its own thing. But I really want to go to like, I want to go to some place and do it. We'll see. Maybe I'll make a video out of it. And then if it turns out bad, at least I got it filmed. So it'll be worth something. Okay. I'm going to take out my little mirror. I'm actually going to use the mirror from the Call Me palette. And I love this mirror for that reason, is the dust cover has a mirror. So you can literally pull it apart instead of holding like the heavy, palette. I mean, they're not that heavy, but after doing your makeup for a while, your arms do get tired. Makeup is a workout. So I'm gonna take this. Actually, I think I actually have a better one too. This is by, no, it's by CoverGirl, and it's the Clean and Fresh Brow. This one's super precision, so I'll use that after this. This one's a much thicker tip, but it's good for just kind of filling in the brows. And it does have like a little brush that I like too on the other side. The brush on the other side, I kind of use to like filter them out, I guess you would say, or like, what's the word? Blend it. Maybe that's not the right word, but it softens the look after using the brush on the other side, because it kind of just moves around the product and makes sure there's like no obvious lines. So I'm just using this to kind of fill in some obvious gaps. So silly me back in middle school, you guys know I used to love playing around with skincare. One day in my mom's shower, she had this big bottle. It was called like, on the bottle, all it said was apricot scrub, soothing, good for sensitive skin, revitalize, refreshes, resurfaces, like said all these like things. And it was just a big picture of like an apricot, and it was like this really pretty pink bottle. And I was like, ooh, that looks like a good face scrub. So I ended up using it in the shower. Instantly, I regret it. I feel this like sharp burning. I didn't realize it was Nair. So the bottle did say Nair, but me back in middle school, I had no idea what Nair was. And on the front, it didn't say anything about hair removal. It said for sensitive skin, revitalizes, resurfaces, smooths, things like that. And I guess smooths, I think it was smooth skin, but smooths was for getting rid of the hair. And I ended up using it on my face, and literally in 2 seconds, I felt it burn. I washed off my face, and I ended up losing both ends of my eyebrows, and they have never quite grown back normal. Like there's like a little dip here and on the side too. So when I fill in my brows, that's where I put the most brow product, just to kind of like even it out. But that's like the only big problem area of my eyebrows. Maybe you guys have more opinions on my eyebrows, but to me, that is the biggest like problem area of my eyebrows, is these ends. But you know how they say like when you get rid of your brows or shave them or whatever, they don't necessarily always grow back? Well, I can tell you, mine kind of grew back, but they did not grow back all the way. They did not fully survive. They tried their best though. But I ended up wearing like a beanie to school for a while. And the first day I came with my beanie, my teacher's like, that's not allowed, you have to take off the hat. And then I showed her and she's like, you can keep it. So I got special permission to wear a beanie for like about a week until my eyebrows started to grow back a bit. And then I just kind of had like janky eyebrows. And then finally they kind of grew back, and then I would fill them in with makeup. I think that's kind of where my makeup kind of started, was after that, because I started to do like a little bit of eyebrow makeup, and then I started just doing makeup pretty much every day. I'm pretty sure that's where it started. I never thought about that before, but I'm pretty sure that is where it actually started. So I'm just gonna spoolie it out and then do a little bit of the brow gel, if I can find it. See, this is the only reason I think it'd be nice for me to get a proper makeup case, because when it's like in a bag like this, it's so hard to find everything, you know? But I do have, oh, here it is. This is by CoverGirl, and it's called Clean Fresh Brow Enhancing Gel Wax. I'm just gonna organize it. So I brush it all up. I like how I'm saying this as if I'm giving you guys a tutorial. I wonder if any of you guys will actually use this as a tutorial, or if you're just here for the story. But I'm gonna brush them up and then take the end and just glide across and then fix the end. There we go. Nice thick brows. You know my favorite brows? Have you guys ever seen Emily in Paris? That is my favorite brows. I love the way she does her makeup, the way she looks, her eyebrows. She is so incredibly gorgeous. I would love to do her makeup one day. I should try to like copy one of her looks, but I love that. I love her style in that show. I'm pretty sure she was also in a version of Snow White too, wasn't she? Was that the same actor, or do they just look a lot alike? Because I love the makeup in that movie too, and like the dresses and the outfits. All right, so I guess my next step, I'm just gonna use a little bit of powder. This is Peach Perfect by Too Faced. This is something like I've literally used since middle school, not the same container, but I just keep rebuying it every couple of years because this stuff lasts me a really long time, especially nowadays that I don't wear makeup as often. But I'm just going to powder everything down, and then the good thing about doing this too before my eyes is if I do have any fallout, the fallout will just kind of land on the loose powder, and then I can just brush it right off. So that's another one of the reasons why I like to do this step before my eyes. So I'm just gonna press. And it smells so good. It literally smells like peaches and cream. Sorry, I'm trying to grab a little bit more of the little pot. There we go. So it's not that much, but I feel like it just mattifies it all a little bit and keeps everything still. That way my under eye doesn't crease or my smile lines don't crease too bad. And now I'm gonna do my eyeshadow. So I have 3 different palettes. I have the Call Me palette right here. And these 3 palettes are all by Spoil Cosmetics. I have the Earth Elements palette, I think it's called. I'm not quite sure. And then I have the Beach House. I think for today's makeup look, I'm gonna use the Beach House, and then I may dip into like one of the other palettes, but I just kind of want to use one palette. That way, in case any of you guys are actually using this as a tutorial, you don't have to like buy a million palettes. And then for my blush, I'm gonna use the Blushing Monkey palette from Spoiled. And that one's actually really, really pretty. It's like a nice light blush. So I'm gonna take the white up here and use this as my base. Put it all over. And this will just kind of like, I know you can't really see it, but I feel like putting down like kind of like a very neutral skin shade of eyeshadow helps everything else blend on top of it. You have like kind of like, it's like putting down a medium. Like when you paint, you know, you put that first like gua sha on the whole canvas and then you paint on top of it and it just kind of helps it spread easier. I'm sure I'm saying that analogy wrong, but I took one painting class and then that's what we did. So I use that for my eyeshadows too. And now I'm going in with this like more medium cream. It's like one shade darker than the one I used. I'm just kind of keeping this in my crease. Again, you can't really see it too much because it's basically my skin color. I'm going very, very light. But I'm gonna add the brown on top of this. And then the other two, I know you can't see it, but I feel like if I were to just put this brown right on, it wouldn't blend as well. But having that little base shade and then a little bit of a transition, it will kind of help. So I'm grabbing it all the way at the end. Ah, my hair is itching me. Grabbing it all the way at the end to be really light-handed. And I'm just kind of focused on bringing everything out, just like that. Just kind of out in a little bit of a point. I'm gonna do that to the other side too. Super light. I think it's even. Sometimes it's hard to tell on camera because I definitely have more light coming in this way, so then this side can look darker. But in a mirror, I think it looks fine. And then I'm gonna add just a tiniest little bit of this coral shade. I just really like that light little pink. I'm just gonna put it right around the same spot, but kind of bring it a little bit more towards the middle. I don't know why I'm narrating, you guys can see, but I feel like it'd be boring if I just was quiet, staring into my eye. Plus it'd be awkward, right? All right, so I'm gonna do the other side. Bring it around. And it kind of just warms everything up a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back into that transition shade I had and just sandwich everything together. Just big windshield wiper type motions. How does that look? See, this compared to this looks a little splotchy, but I think doing that transition really helped it out. All right, now other side. I'm still going pretty like light-handed because I don't want to accidentally force off the color or move it around too much. I'm literally just trying to blend it all together and like sandwich everything together. There, that looks so much smoother. And then for this, I think I'm gonna use this pinky gold, but let me test it out real fast on the back of my hand. Yeah, that looks like a really pretty like pearl. So I'm gonna take my hand. For shimmers, I prefer putting it on with a finger, or if you have one of those silicone like spatula type brushes, I feel like it gets put on a lot better and a lot more like denser that way. Now, normally for like an everyday look, I would just use a brush to keep it light, but since we're doing more of like a festive party type style, I'm gonna really pack it on. Oh, I need to get up, my watch says. After this, I'll get up, Mr. Watch. I don't know why, I feel like it packed on better on that side, but again, it could just be the lighting. I'm just gonna go over this one more time, just in case. I'm bringing it here a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back in with this transition shade again to, again, sandwich everything together. All right, what do you guys think? You liking it? You liking how it's looking? I'm gonna use one of these Head in the Cloud brushes from Spoiled. I'm gonna go into the darkest shade I used. Just gonna do a little bit right here. Just, do you guys like that? Oh no. Just kind of like angle my eye out a little bit. There we go. I think that adds a little something, something. I don't normally like bringing color out under my eye. I feel like it makes my eyes look very small when I do that. And I feel like with having like hooded eyes, my eyes are already kind of like small. So, but I'm just gonna do a little bit. My sister did this on my last makeup and I was like, maybe I do like it. There we go. Bring this out more. What do you guys think? You like it? Keeping it very natural. But I'm gonna do my eyeliner next, and I'm gonna do that off camera just because I don't have a table in front of me, and I like to have my elbow like on a table and really get it good. But I am gonna use brown eyeliner. So this is my favorite. I literally have 2 of them, but it's by Catkin. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's coffee brown. It's a brown eyeliner. So I'm gonna go in and use this and then I'll be right back. Eyeliner is done and now I'm going to do the brand new Tag Team Mascara by Spoiled Cosmetics. I think if you scan this QR code, you can go right in it. Oh, here, let me hold it for a second. In case you're watching me on a TV or a laptop, then you can scan it. I'm gonna feel so bad ruining this nice packaging, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I wish brands, like, because this is such cute packaging, I wish they made like a little perforated back. That way you could just peel the back and then that way this is still pretty and then you could put the stuff back, but it is what it is. We're gonna destroy this. So here it goes. So this is called Tag Team because there's 2 different sides. There's a side for your upper and your lower lashes. So it has a thin side like that. And then it has more of a thicker side for your top lashes. Now, what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna use the bottom lash one on my top and my bottom. The reason being is I wanna keep this look very natural. And with mascaras like this, for the top lashes, they use that thicker brush to like really add the volume and then, you know, use the thinner brush for like the dainty bottom lashes. But since I want to keep this look very natural, I'm going to use the dainty side on my top and bottom. So hold on, let me grab my little dust cover from the Call Me palette. I'm just going to take it and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle all the way up. That's very, very pretty. I like this mascara. It adds really nice thickness and then it does add like a little bit of length too. But it's not like crazy length where it looks like little spider legs. You know what I'm talking about? It's just the right amount. Just gonna wiggle, 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 and then go over the top. And I probably should have curled my lashes before this. I know I don't own an eyelash curler actually. So it is what it is. But this is I mean, that's pretty good for not curling my lashes. Like, look at that. You see how long they look? Very pretty. Very, very pretty. I'm happy with that. And then using this end, I feel like it's keeping everything separated nicely. I hate when my eyelashes all just like clump together into like one little big thing, a product. So let me do the other side. There you go. Cool. Very cool. All right. So I'm gonna let my eyelashes dry a little bit, but I do definitely want to add a little more contour and then some blush. So I'm going to grab one of these. And since I already powdered everything down, here, let me do a quick sweep. And I'm gonna use my powdered contour next. So I'm gonna use the Too Cool for School. Oh, there we go. This is the Art Class palette in shade neutral, So that's what it looks like. You can go like line by line, but I personally just prefer to mix it all together. And then do this. So one big achievement in my makeup learning, my self-makeup learning, it was definitely a lot of trial and error, but I feel like cool toned makeup definitely looks a lot better on me instead of like really tanned bronzy like contours and makeup looks and stuff like that. So this is like a very neutral tone, very cool tone contour, and I 100% prefer using it over like a tanned style like bronzy one. So that's another thing. If you feel like contour doesn't look good on you or certain makeup looks, just try to play around with like trying cool tones or summer tones or winter tones. You know, there is quizzes to see what color looks best on you, but I feel like sometimes just trial and error is the better way to go because you can't always like trust the quizzes. I'm just gonna do down here, bring it down my neck. It's another thing, you never just want like a line of contour. So I bring it down to the sides of my neck. That way it kind of just like all blends together. And it's very subtle, like I feel like it's still very natural, but it did make a difference. And I feel like definitely on camera too, you're gonna see the difference. And then I really like to keep everything up. So like when I go like this, my natural line's here, but I try to apply my contour a little bit higher than that because since I have such a round face, like my space right here is very short. So to kind of make the appearance of it being like a little bit longer and my face a little longer, I keep it up here to kind of emphasize that. See, and then it kind of, I feel like it makes this part a little longer and makes my face look a little less round. So there's nothing wrong with round faces, but just, you know, for makeup, let's try something new. I live with my round face every day, so to elongate it a little bit with makeup every once in a while is fine. All right, next I'm gonna do a little bit of nose contour. So I'm gonna take my Spectrum B06 brush, super fluffy one, and I'm gonna actually use like the middle shade here. This is like the one time I actually am a little shade specific. So I don't wanna go too light or too dark. I'm just going to go straight down and around and then feather it out to the sides and then into my eye crease. You guys see the difference? Or maybe not, I don't know. Sometimes a lot of makeup is just like, it's so subtle, but in photos especially, you really notice the difference in photos. So again, I just went straight down. I'm gonna go around and then feather it down. And sorry I'm looking like over here, because I know on camera, I'm using my iPhone to film today. The camera's over here, so when I look over here, I'm looking at you guys, but I cannot see myself because the screen's over here. So if I'm constantly looking this way, it's because I'm doing my makeup and I'm using y'all as my mirror. So that's why I look a little crazy at some points. think that's pretty good. I'm gonna get my chapstick and then let it sit for a little bit. Then I'll do a little bit of like nice neutral lipstick, but I think I'm pretty much done. You know what, I will add blush. So this is the monkey palette, the Spider Monkey palette from the Spoil Cosmetics. Actually, it's called Blushing Monkey, but I'm gonna use this light coral. Blushing Monkey from Spoil Cosmetics. They also have a spider palette, so I keep accidentally saying Spider Monkey. But I'm gonna add this really high and up, again, to create that same illusion, because, you know, my cheekbone is like only like here, where some people, like, you know, this whole portion of their face would be like considered their cheek. So if I keep everything up, it kind of helps make the illusion my cheeks bigger, and then, you know, helps with that like elongating effect that I keep talking about. By the way, again, I'm not a professional makeup artist. This is just like things I found worked for me. And I also love watching Korean makeup videos, like I said. And that's like one of the tips they always kind of talk about, is creating that illusion. I'm also gonna kind of bring it under my eye just slightly. I'm not gonna go super heavy, but just to kind of blend it together and up. And then I do have a little bit of powdered highlight. So this is the Amuse in Sheer Nude. This is an eye palette, but yeah, okay, never mind. Excuse me, I keep like burping a little bit. I'm so sorry, that's so disgusting to do in front of you guys. And I don't even think I can edit it out. But all right, I'm gonna, I need to find like a highlighter. Let me see. Does the Call Me? No, the Call Me doesn't have one. This one doesn't have one. Beach House doesn't have one. Do I have it? Like, I don't think I have a powdered highlighter. Oh, yes I do, right here. So I'm gonna use the Amuse Moon Glow palette and just add a little extra highlight. So I'm gonna use this side and just bring it up. And then I'm gonna use the fluffy brush again and use this on my nose. And then here. That way it kind of brings up the corners of my mouth, a little bit here from my lips, here under my eyebrow. I think that's good. What do you guys think? You like it? So I'm gonna go take my photos now, but this is pretty much the finished look. Like I said, I'm just gonna do some chapstick and then let that sit. And then I'm gonna use this Amuse lipstick in shade, what is that? Shade Sprinkles. And then use that. So it's just a very natural, light look. But I'm gonna post this video and then check out my Facebook page for all the photos that I'm doing. But I will see you guys later. Have an amazing day. Bye. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm gonna put all the links in the description. So if you liked any of the makeup, all this makeup I got myself, but I do have links where I earn some coin if you shop through. So I'll put them down there, and that is an amazing way to support my channel if you guys do wanna get the stuff you like and then support me making more videos. But I will see you guys later. Okay, bye for real. See ya. I just finished my little mini photo shoot for my 90K celebration, and now on to the less glamorous part. I'm gonna clean my whole house because me and Zach are gonna be going away, and when we come back I just want to feel, you know, good. Like, I love just stepping into a clean home, so I'm gonna do dishes, laundry, mop, vacuum, do everything, move all the lamps out of my house. You guys know I've been doing Facebook Marketplace, and somebody wanted to look at all of the lamps, so I put a lot of the lamps out. I did my makeup there, so the house is a bit of a mess. I mean, it's not bad, but it's probably gonna take like an hour or two. Oh my God, there's just a spider hanging there. Does the camera even pick it up? Wait, where is it? Is that such a tiny little guy. But I'm gonna clean the house, and I'm probably gonna skip today's workout because there's won't be enough time. Zach gets home in like 2.5 hours, and then we're driving all the way to Orlando because we're spending the weekend at a hotel and doing one day at Epic Universe. And then that'll be it. I may just end up working out tomorrow, which is not a big deal, to skip one day because God knows I got a lot of steps today, just changing my outfits and walking around, and then I'm going to get more steps cleaning the house. Cleaning the house is a good workout. I don't care what anybody says. You burn so many calories. At least my Apple Watch says I burn a lot of calories when cleaning the house. So I may just skip my workout today for my own sanity. I technically could take off all my makeup, work out real fast, and then rush clean, but I know that's not going to feel good. I'd rather just take my time and make the house feel good. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll just probably, tomorrow we're going to Universal, walking all the steps. And then, I'll try to wake up early and go to the hotel gym, just to get something in. Cause I've been really trying to do at least 4 strength training sessions a week. Cause, I have my goals, but I'm going to get to cleaning the house, but that's a little update right now.